What's up, XRP family? Thank you guys for joining the video for today. So here we can see, guys, that these days are very interesting because we have a lot of crypto institutions, companies getting sued by the SEC. Regarding the SEC complaint against us, we're proud to represent the industry in court to finally get some clarity on around crypto rules. This is so hypocritical, guys, because like Ripple has been in battle for 2 years now, more than 2 years. They have been representing this space. John Deaton, Brett Garlinghouse, the whole XRP community have been representing the crypto community into the fullest, right? Brian Armstrong didn't say anything about that, and now he comes and saying that he is representing the crypto industry. Look at that, guys. It's just unbelievable. And also they delisted XRP, by the way. They were the first one to delist XRP. So clearly there is something very weird going on. That is why we have a nice video here. Let's take a look, guys. I also want to show you a video of Gary Gensler speaking about why he's doing this. And of course, there's something behind it, and it's not what he's saying. So let's take a look.
I think the idea that XRP is a security, it has traded out there for 8 years. You know, it's kind of like, well, if it was a security, I guess we should have known that a long time ago.
So is your basic defense, you let us trade it for years and thus gives these backsies? Is that basically your response?
No. I mean, look, if you own a security, it gives you ownership of a company, right? If Ripple goes away, XRP is going to keep trading. Many countries around the world, the UK, Japan, Switzerland, Singapore, they all have clarity and certainty that XRP is not a security. In fact, the United States is the only country on the planet that has suggested that XRP is a security. And that's why I say this isn't just bad for Ripple, it's bad for crypto broadly here in the United States, and it's driving that activity, it's driving that entrepreneurial activity outside the United States. I think that definitely bodes poorly for the US crypto industry at large. I think if you believe these are the future infrastructures for payment networks, I think we should care about, you know, what countries have control over those technologies.
Now, it's very, very weird, guys, to really understand what is going on here. So whether this is all staged and they absolutely know that at one point Ripple is going to be regulated, it's not going to be a security, XRP is not going to be a security, and they will have clarity and there will be clarity for the space, and that is why they're doing this, or there's just something else going on, right? Because you can't understand it, because United States has to lead in this space, but they're not leading at the moment, right? They're just stalling and stalling and stalling, and there are other countries moving so fast. So I do not understand the wisdom of why they are doing this. Is it corruption? Is it something else? I don't know, guys. It's up to this point, it's not very clear. I was always thinking that this was staged. But if it's staged, why are they taking so long to actually bring clarity so that they can actually move and lead the space, right? It wasn't clear already. It should be now. Chair Gensler is laughable. Pro-innovation stance, as he said today, is exactly the opposite. What this also tells me is that the SEC is throwing lawsuits at the wall and hoping they distract from the agency's FTX debacle. It's embarrassing to watch with an unelected bureaucrat flail like this to mask the fact that he is and his agency don't have the power that he so desperately craves. No one is fooled. The thing is, guys, that Congress also intervened and said a lot of things that they were saying. But there is still no action. Why is there no action? Why are they not stopping Gary Gensler? Why is not something happening? Because something needs to happen right now, because they're behind, it's taking too long, and XRP is clearly not a security. So let's take a look at Gary Gensler speaking here and saying that he's protecting investors. Let's take a look.
Which is more important in your view?
You're leading this interview. I'm going to follow you where you are, but let me just say this to the investing public. These trading platforms, they call themselves exchanges, are commingling a number of functions which in traditional finance We don't see the New York Stock Exchange also operating a hedge fund, making markets, and as we alleged in Binance, having a sister organization, flooding the platform with transactions called wash trading, and the lack of controls on the platforms is really a web of deception and conflicts, along with a control person, Mr. Zhao, trying to evade U.S. law.
And given the timeline we're talking about, what do you say to viewers who wonder why enforcement has taken, arguably, at least several years, so long?
Look, it takes time. We do things by the book. That's what the American public would want us to do. We follow the facts and the law. And I could.
So this is the problem here, right? He's saying we're doing things by the book as the public wants us to. But he's not listening to the public. They never had a survey to ask people what they really want, because most of the people just want to be left alone. They want to be left trading. They want to have some kind of protection, but not like this. This is enforcement. This is limiting investors. This is not protecting anymore, right? They're not even asking the public what they want, because XRP community is 70,000+ people that is represented there. They're not listening to them. If they had listened, they would have dropped the case, or they would have come to some kind of agreement and listened to the public. They are not listening. They're not protecting investors. They're not doing things by the book. You see, this is where hypocrisy is coming from, and it's so obvious. So why are they doing this still is a big question.
I'm going to be more proud of the investigative teams at the SEC working together with colleagues in our various divisions of trading and markets, our general counsel's office, 5 commissioners. But it really, it's a lot of a gumshoe, walk in the beat investigation to build a case like what you've seen alleged in a 136-page complaint.
Mr. Chairman, a lot of it is hard to understand. For instance, in the Binance complaint, you say, Mr. Chairman, I need to know this. The SEC's Binance complaint also seeks emergency relief, like an asset freeze, expedited discovery, and even the appointment of a receiver. Are there more pleadings coming? Because if you do this, that's the end of Binance.
Look, we have concerns, and
He's saying that's the end of Binance, which is completely untrue. There is no end to Binance because it's trading 95% of its volume or even more is outside the US, guys. So these people are so deluded. I think it's corruption or it's something else, but these people are so deluded that they do not understand what is going on here, right? Let's move on. Did anyone notice this? This is too much coincidence. So here we can see, guys, that the SEC is saying you simply can't ignore the rules because you don't like them or because you'd prefer different ones. The consequences for the investing public are far too great. While Coinbase's calculated decisions may have allowed it to earn billions, it's done so at the expense of investors by depriving them of the protections to which they are entitled. Here we can see that Paul Grewal, Chief Legal Officer Coinbase, I talk a little crypto and a lot of law and way too much Ohio sports. So the thing is, guys, here that this guy, Grewal, what Coinbase GC should expect from the SEC Enforcement Director, right? So first they were already regulated, and now there is a whole thing going on with we need to regulate them. See, again, it's hypocrisy. And that's the problem, guys, here. For the last 2 years, XRP and LBC communities have been put through hell by the consequences of SEC regulation by enforcement. The list is growing daily of the communities now beginning the same journey. The SEC is a powerful common enemy crypto needs to unite to face it, right? And Ripple started this. Ripple was leading this, right? LBC unfortunately got deemed as security and they lost the lawsuit, but it's not going to happen with XRP. Ripple is too strong for this, guys. It makes me sick watching Brian Armstrong and Coinbase pretending to be the savior of crypto when Brett Garlinghouse, John Deaton, and many others in the XRP community are the true heroes. So again, claiming that he is leading the space while Ripple has been in this lawsuit for a long time. But by time, guys, this will all come clear. Interesting. Some chain trials unannounced. It's interesting that Link and ETH are mentioned, but not others. I would like to think XRP is a consideration. Perhaps the SEC has made it too awkward, confirms Ripple's tokenization factor anyway. It's very clear that Swift is now going to implement the technology of XRP. We have seen that. It has been mentioned by people who are working there, and it's definitely going to happen. But they still do not want to put it out there to seem obvious, right? Because that's the problem with it. This is what the SEC is doing. They're making things more difficult. Anyway, let's see what will happen, guys. We are very close to hearing a verdict from the lawsuit. We are almost there. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.